The global economy is in what the experts call a bear market, which is to say that the value of all assets are going down. That goes for sneakers just as much as it does for stocks, but us sneakerheads are much more likely to see this as an opportunity rather than an excuse to jump out a window. After all, we've seen some extremely valuable pairs being sold for pennies on the dollar, including some absolute must-haves for the serious collectors out there. So stay tuned while we give you the rundown on the craziest J1 deals this bear market has to offer. Number 8. Jordan 1 Retro High Satin Black Toe. The addition of satin to the Air Jordan 1 was a brilliant move from Nike. It continued the brand's tradition of breaking all the rules. This black-toed version of the satin imbued Jordan 1 silhouette featured a pressed medallion with the Wings logo on full display, making it a popular choice for newbies and seasoned collectors alike. But this obviously drove the price to insane levels during the bull market. We saw these going for as much as $790 when the market was at its peak, but nowadays you might be able to snap up a mint condition pair for under $200. That's not far off from the $160 it retailed for back in 2019. But it's safe to say that a deal like this doesn't last forever. Number 7. Jordan 1 Retro High OG Satin Shattered Backboard. Those black-toed sneakers aren't the only pairs offered by the Air Jordan brand that included satin in the design. The shattered blackboard version of the silhouette was considered by many to be the pinnacle of sneaker excellence. But as sad as it makes us to say this, the glory days of the Jordan 1 are long behind us. When the market was in a frenzy to purchase as many of these sneakers as possible, the price climbed to a ridiculous $1,000 in some cases. Of course, what goes up must eventually come down, and collectors are now willing to part ways with these prized pairs for $250, or sometimes even less. That's a 75% decrease from peak to trough, making these high satin shattered backboards a sound investment in the long term in our opinion. Number 6. Jordan 1 Retro High OG University Blue. Like we've already mentioned, the Jordan 1 hype has really started to fade away, but that doesn't change how true sneakerheads feel about this iconic and timeless silhouette. Just take a look at the High University Blue colorway, which was released in 2021 and ended up selling for over $900 back when undiscerning hobbyists had money to blow. Bonafide collectors often had to pay these exorbitant rates simply because of market conditions outside of their control, but recent events have changed all of that. Apart from the bear market itself, the market has been flooded with fakes that are good enough to pass authenticity inspection checks. Even platforms like StockX have authenticated bogus pairs, and as a result, the price went into a tailspin. However, the good news is that these retro highs are now accessible for sneaker fans with actual bills to pay. They can now be bought for the affordable sum of $235, and even if you don't want to waste time finding the best deal, it's almost certain you'll get a pair for under $300. Given how prohibitively expensive they become shortly just after the release date, we can consider that a steal. Just make sure that the pair you're buying is original by checking the placement of the swoosh and a few other key details, and you're good to go. Number 5. Jordan 1 Retro High OG Defiant SB, LA to Chicago. Released in 2019, these kicks featured a gorgeous shade of royal purple with a tan swoosh and accents bringing the entire colorway to life. The high tongue offers comfort and practicality in equal measure, so this isn't just the type of sneaker that you'd leave on the shelf. The thing is, resellers were asking for around $580 for these pairs not too long ago, and if you paid that much for them, there was no chance you'd take them out for a spin. Luckily, these things have started to wind down now, and you can probably get your hands on these high SBs for between $200 and $250. Ho ho ho! Hold your horses! We plug a lot of people, but this is something that even we can't do. Hit that subscribe button and plug yourself with the most diverse and interesting sneaker content there is. And now, back to the video. It's like there's a 50% off sale that no one told you about. But now that you know, it's best to strike while the iron is still hot. Number 4. Jordan 1 Retro High Court Purple White. Speaking of purple, here we've got a pair of Jordan 1s that come in a more toned down colorway that celebrates the silhouette and a tasteful combination of court purple and white, with some black accents thrown in for good measure. The whole design is brought together by the customary wings logo on the padded collar, so it's easy to see why fans have been losing their minds to find a decent pair. These retro highs are notoriously hard to come by. High demand and low supply can only mean one thing: ridiculous prices. And in the case of these sneakers, the asking rate often touched the $600 mark, give or take a few bucks. The tide has turned with the market, and it's quite likely that you'll be able to buy these gorgeous pairs for under $200 now, with some pairs hovering around the absurdly low $150 mark. Number 3, Jordan 1 Mid Light Smoke Gray. If you're the kind of collector that appreciates a modernist touch on sneaker design, you probably enjoy colorways that eschew bright shades in favor of something a bit more tasteful. That's exactly what you'll get with these Jordan 1s, which pair subtle slate gray with the traditional white leather upper, which really makes the jet black laces, swoosh, and wings logo pop. This pair retailed for around $115 back in 2020, but after stocks ran out, resellers drove the price up nearly 5 times over, which led to asking rates somewhere in the region of $500. After averaging at about $450 a pop between 2021 and 2022, the price slowly began to fall until the unimaginable happened. As of January 2024, it's possible to buy this colorway for the retail price, and in some cases as little as $110. It might take a bit of searching, but the market just isn't valuing Jordan 1s as highly as it used to. And that gives us cash-strapped aficionados the opening they need to obtain pairs that can level up their sneaker room. Number 2, Jordan 1 High by Union, Storm Blue. Look, some pairs that sold for hundreds are worth a fraction of the price, but there will always be a demand for the most exceptional Jordan 1s, and the High by Union Storm Blue colorway is perhaps the best example of that. After all, these might just be one of the most strikingly designed Jordan 1s out there. The burgundy red accent on the collar is situated in a sea of pitch black and peeks through the black stitching of the wings logo as well. What's more, the honey yellow tag has an amazing impact on the design despite its diminutive size, and combined with the aforementioned red and black, it evokes energy, excitement, and warmth. Factor in the hype surrounding Union and you've got a recipe for a multi-$1,000 sneaker, and sure enough, we've seen pairs being sold for the eye-watering sum of $3,000. However, people just don't love Union colorways as much as they used to, so you may be able to snag a pair for around $1,100. That's still a high sum, but compared to where the price was in the bull market, it's a deal you wouldn't want to miss. Number 1, Jordan 1 High by Fragment and Travis Scott. Just like the Union Storm Blue, this collab between Air Jordan, Fragment, and Travis Scott was a hot item during its heyday. Once the famous rapper stamped his name on a shoe, people would be willing to pay through the nose to purchase a pair, and that's exactly what happened with these bad boys. The buying frenzy got so intense that it wasn't unusual for the price to hit $3,900 and more. But we're living in a new world now. Travis pairs aren't appealing to selective collectors anymore. It's possible that the market became oversaturated with the sneakers bearing the rapper's moniker, but whatever the case may be, the price has now plummeted to the much more affordable $1,500 mark. We've even seen some lucky buyers get a pair for around $800, so you might as well try your luck. There you have it, folks. Which of these unbelievable sneaker deals are you excited about? Let us know in the comments below. That's all for now. See ya.